Here's my premise, Frank. Donald Trump is a straight shooter and attracts a lot of us support because he goes straight at the issues. You know exactly what the man is saying. Ron Paul is somewhat similar. Go straight at it. You know what the man's saying.
Ron Paul is a straight shooter. Donald Trump is not.
Okay. But you know what I'm coming from.
He says what he means and means what he says. And if he wants to demonstrate that he is truly presidential, then just maybe he needs a different style. The issue with Trump is that we want people who say what they mean and mean what they say, who look us straight in the eye. He says what he means and means what he says. And if he wants to demonstrate that he is truly presidential, then just maybe he needs a different style.
Yeah, you know what I thought about the negative advertising, too, is they keep sort of hitting the same points over and over again that have not worked so far.
Exactly.
That he's not really a true conservative, and it's not working.
And the thing is, the people who support Donald Trump aren't true conservatives anyway.
Good observation.
These are people who are independents, they're moderate conservatives, they're not strong Republicans.
Somebody who spent at least half a century in the conservative constitutionalist movement. The three great conservative constitutionalist presidents in the last century: Calvin Coolidge, Ronald Reagan, and Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has the potential to be the greatest of the three.
The issue with Trump is that we want people who say what they mean and mean what they say, who look us straight in the eye. How many bankruptcies before you start to wonder? Don't dismiss it. How many bankruptcies? How many reorganizations? I think Trump's got the guts to run, and I'm going to do this on this show.
Okay, hold on.
10,000 bucks. If Donald Trump is really running, 10,000 bucks says he doesn't run. Mr. Trump, you're not running. You're playing a game. These are very serious times. The American people are hurting. They cannot afford their gas. We got people in Washington, serious people like Paul Ryan, actually out there trying to do their jobs, and Trump is playing games.
Okay.
10,000 bucks says he doesn't run.
I got it. But you will.
Do you want to take me up on that bet?
No, I'm not going to take
let him do
I'm
it.
not a gambling kind of guy. Donald Trump has a certain degree of support because he looks you in the eye and goes straight at it. Now, you may completely disagree with this.
He's a game show host.
Okay. What is it about politicians that so few can be straight shooters, look you in the eye and tell it plain and simple how they think it is?
I'll give you four people. The first is Paul Ryan, the congressman from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey.
Okay.
Straight shooter.
Definitely.
And he's tough, and he'll take on hecklers. Two others. Mitt Romney also is a straight shooter, and I'm going to give one other one, which is Newt Gingrich. People who know the issues, not people who run game shows on networks.
He is speaking the language of the average American, because there are key groups right now, Latinos, that are traditionally with the Democrats that aren't in this campaign right now.
What do you think is going on in the Hispanic community?
The Hispanic community is insulted. They were insulted by the language that Donald Trump used. They were insulted by the tone. Whenever he talked about immigration policy, they felt like he was telling them they weren't welcome. And every time that he said to the Hispanics, they love me, they don't.
And on immigration, the reason why he wants to talk about immigration, the current president, President Biden, and Vice President Harris seems so weak on the issue.
So you say that the media treats you unfairly. You also had some very angry words for Frank Luntz, who had a post-debate focus group asking a lot of questions.
No, I'll tell you about Frank Luntz. Frank Luntz came to my office.
Can I play the soundbite and then you respond?
Asked me to hire his company. Excuse me. Frank Luntz.
Who's your daddy?
He's one of America's most influential pollsters. He played a key role in determining the words used in the political arena for decades. Who will be the challenger to Trump?
I think Sanders has a tremendous advantage. I really do.
Frank,
and
if you had to bet, you'd say Elizabeth Warren becomes the Democratic nominee and she wins?
I would bet that she becomes the Democratic nominee, and we are going to see a fight. I absolutely believe she can win.
In your opinion, who do you think is going to win the Democratic nomination?
Bernie Sanders.
Sanders?
But it's Joe Biden's right now. It's Joe Biden's to lose. Biden has not had the passion. He's not as ideological as Sanders or Warren. He's not as much of a fresh face as Mayor Pete.
At least if you look at the betting sites and the polls, it now appears that Biden may win.
I'm not surprised because the national numbers really don't matter.
He doesn't show that passion that he had 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, boy, did he.
Joe Biden has been pretty quiet. We haven't seen much from him. And yet, the quieter he is, the better he's doing in the surveys.
I think he's been too quiet. He doesn't show that passion that he had. There is no front runner. You cannot say that Joe Biden is the front runner, or Mayor Pete, or Elizabeth Warren, or Bernie Sanders. We now have 4. And right now, the only person I could see doing that, quite frankly, and this may surprise you, is Michelle Obama. The issue with Trump is that we want people who say what they mean and mean what they say. And the number one attribute that Republicans and Democrats want is someone who says what they mean and means what they say. And voters are ticked off, and they want someone who says what they mean, means what they say, and that's why Trump won the nomination.
All right, Frank.
Yes.
And we want people who live
Yes.
what they preach. We can feel that Donald Trump is offensive in what he says. But the fact that he's saying it so directly to millions of Americans, this is what they want in a leader.
And I watch what the president says. And quite frankly, the language that he's using, he's being very tough. The public wants empathy. They want understanding.
The fact that he is saying it so bluntly, so overtly, this is what they want in a leader.
The language that he's using is not language of the American people. The president's language is off.
These are very serious times, and Trump is playing games.
It's not what you say that matters. It's what people hear. And the fact is, there are millions of voters across the country that heard the word and thought, what exactly does he mean? That he uses language that is over-caffeinated and can be misinterpreted.
Who's going to win? You're the man.
If the election is held today, Hillary Clinton would win by 3 points. But at this point, Clinton's got the advantage. The Republicans got started late. Let's face it, Donald Trump did not invest the money that the Democrats have. I have never said publicly that I thought Trump had the chance to win. I now believe he genuinely does. Oh, this is not just an election victory for her. It could be a landslide. I could see a situation now where Trump actually wins the presidency. He absolutely has a chance. And I never said this as recently as 30 days ago. He can win this election. Republicans cannot win without at least 35% of the Latino vote.
And this guy, this slob that you have on your show, what's his name? He does the focus groups. He always picks a focus group that doesn't like Trump.
Listen, he's not a slob. He's a good guy. Frank Luntz, he interviewed you.
Yeah, but I don't like him.
But now it seemed as though he didn't like you too much.
Today, she's only got a 2% lead. Actually, well, based on this, it's looking like Trump's going to do worse tonight than what the poll showed. So instead of this hidden Trump vote that everyone talks about, the shy Trump voter, I don't see it.
Really?
Trump voters refuse to participate. It's about the shy Trump voter. I don't see it. Well, I've been looking for that so-called shy Trump voter, the person who won't acknowledge it, but actually supports him. And frankly, I haven't found a significant example of it. And I do believe there is a small hidden Trump vote. The question now is, which is more significant? So many media people, so many pundits have got it wrong that at some point you actually stop making projections.
You were very sure that Clinton would win. You tweeted about it last night. What do you think happened?
The exit polls have never been so wrong. Trump voters wouldn't talk to pollsters. Last night we asked that question of 1,200 voters. Bernie Sanders would have beaten Trump by 8 points. So now they have the House, now they have the Senate, and now they have the White House. It was an absolute Republican uproar.
Incredible.
Our next guest says if the election were held today, she would win.
She's bringing out people who are not interested in voting for either Trump or Biden. So the entire electoral pool has changed. And if it continues in this direction, you have to start to consider Democrats winning the Senate and Democrats winning the House. She's got a demographic advantage. And I haven't seen anything like this happen in 30 days in my lifetime.
Donald Trump won the popular vote by over 2 million votes. The first Republican to win the popular vote in 20 years. He also won the Electoral College by a margin of 86 votes. There was, / is, a reason for that.
That the public looks back at this election and wonders, why did she lose? How did she lose? And in the end, they blame her. Now, Donald Trump ran a spectacular campaign. Some of the language that's come out of the Trump campaign, specifically the presidential candidate himself, is very hard to listen to. It's very divisive and very polarizing. And she had the lead. How do you blow an election when you're running against a guy with so much against him at the time, it's time for her to leave the stage.
She is taking pages out of the Republican playbook. She sounds, if you just listen to these general statements, she actually sounds like a moderate Republican. I know this is blowing people's minds right now, that this looks to me just like Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016, where voters woke up the next day to a Trump presidency. He's actually speaking, I say this as clearly as I can, he's using language that the public responds to. Women turned against him because they found him rude, they found him abusive. This is something that Trump voters don't want to hear. And I think it'd be foolish for anyone to declare at this point that they know who's going to be elected president.
I think Frank would be absolutely right, and Donald Trump would be winning this election if his opponent were Joe Biden. Problematically, though, for Donald Trump, his opponent is not Joe Biden, it's Kamala Harris.
Our next guest says if the election were held today, she would win.
She's bringing out people who are not interested in voting for either Trump or Biden.
She has driven female vote to incredible levels, and particularly younger women. She is a role model for younger women. Trump is saying and almost screaming exactly what older men feel. I'm afraid that we're not going to know who won this election on election night, and we're not going to know the next night, and we're not going to know even the night after that.
You admitted quite candidly that you were wrong about something major after the election. You thought this election, if I have you right, was over after the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. What happened?
It simply wasn't. And in the end, the debate did not matter. The public is used to what Trump says. They did not hold it against him.
And just as you sometimes make projections or predictions, I'm going to do one right here. That speech puts Cory Booker as one of the leaders for the Democratic Party, 2028, and I'll go even further. If you ask Democratic senators right now, would they rather have lead them over the next 3 years? They would choose Cory Booker.
Yeah, the pressure's on, ain't no time for crime. Bottom line is simple, I win or die trying. They try to play me close, yeah, steady line. Now you out the door, yeah, steady crime. This ain't no game, see the rules I'm applying. Victory's the only truth, ain't no denying. Fucking with me, fool, fool never try. I'm top of the food chain, feel the line.